Hi, thank you for joining me. I am Jennifer Abadi with www.createwithjen.com. Today I'm going to be showing you a simple but really elegant card, possibly two if we have enough time, for Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. That's what September 1st means to me. Today is September 1st, 2018, and we are a family that was affected by childhood cancer. I have an 8-year-old who is currently cancer-free. So I made some cards here to support the cause. I will have them for sale eventually in my Etsy shop along with some other support cards, and I want to donate $1 from the sale of each card to our local Relay for Life. So without further ado, let me show you what we're doing today. I'm going to turn you around and flip you down. All right, we've kind of got a rigged setup here, so hopefully we'll do okay. All right, so this is the stamp set that we are going to be using. It is called Ribbon of Courage, and you can see it's got some really pretty ones. So we are going to be using a couple stamps from this set along with some of the dies. So we're going to use this one here, the Courage, and this little heart. So I'm just going to take these out as well as these here because we're going to use these dies and put these aside. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is cut the paper for our base. So I'm going to be using Whisper White cardstock, and we're going to go ahead and cut that right down the middle at 4 1/4. So remember to use your cutting blade, not your scoring blade on this. Oh, actually, this one goes this way. I want this to go this direction. So we're going to cut it at 5 1/2. Beautiful. And now I want to go ahead and score it so we can get a nice fold, and that's going to be at 4 1/4. So I'm going to slide my cutting blade down. I always run my blades up towards the top so the paper, it rests against this guide here, and you know it's not going to move on you while you're cutting or scoring. So I got it at 4 1/4, and I'm going to use the light grayish color one here to score. You can see I got a nice score there. So this is the valley of the score, and this is the hill. We always fold away from the valley toward the hill. So fold it like this, and reach with your bone folder and give it a nice crisp edge. Okay, so that one is good to go. So then we're going to take another piece of white cardstock and cut it down to 4 3/4. I will put all the cutting dimensions on my blog for you, so you don't have to remember any of this. So we're going to cut it at 4 3/4 and then 3 1/2. And put that aside. You're going to need that after. And then I'm going to take this piece that's left over, and it's a little bigger than we need, but that's fine. I want to cut 3/4 of an inch off. About this, if you look at the top here, it's got the guide real close to the edge. A lot of other cutters don't have that. It makes it really difficult to cut small pieces like this. So you see I'm here at 3/4 of an inch on this side. And we're going to put that aside. And now I'm going to get some black, basic black cardstock. And we're going to cut this one down to 3 3/4 by 5. And then I'm going to use this little piece for the same thing that we did the white, 3/4 of an inch. It's just big enough that I can line it up there pretty well. Okay, and I put all these pieces aside. Now, I've got this other piece that I just kind of had a scrap hanging around, and I'm gonna make sure this is gonna be big enough for what we want. Oh, actually, that's for the other card, sorry. Just kidding. We need the white one for this. And it certainly looks like it's gonna be big enough. So I'm going to move this to the side for now because we're not going to need it for a while. If we have time to do the second card, then we will go ahead and pull that back out. So I'm going to bring in my acrylic block. Actually, I think I want the bigger one. Let's go ahead and use the bigger one. Now, this piece of cardstock is really not that big, so I need to make sure that everything's going to fit on here properly. So what I'm going to do is put this down where we're going to stamp it, and then I want a little heart from here too. So we'll put the heart right over here, and I'm going to take my block and actually press on it this way to pick up these pieces. Oops, my little heart is not sticking very well today. That'll solve the problem. Okay, so now I'm going to, let me just stick this here. I'm going to use my Versamark ink. It is colorless because we're going to emboss, and this is the kind of ink that you need for embossing. So I'm going to make sure that I cover everything really well. I want a really good image. And then I'm going to stamp. And then that's all set. I've got my Simply Chamois, which is awesome for wiping these off. So you just wet this here, rub the stamp on it, and it's clean, ready for the next time. Okay, so now I'm gonna bring in my big shot, and we're awfully close for this. Sorry about that. Get that ready to go. Oh, we didn't emboss, sorry. I'm out of sequins here. Okay, so I've got we're gonna use some gold embossing powder. I've got it in this little container because it's easier to use this way. And then I can just cover the image that we stamped. You see it there? Make sure you get plenty of embossing powder on it. You want to make sure that every piece is covered. I need to buy some more. I'm running out. I'll give it a little tap. Usually I would use my embossing buddy to make sure we don't get things embossed that shouldn't be, but we're going to be cutting this out, so I don't really care about that so much. My heart is not looking so hot there. You know what? Let's go ahead and stamp another heart because this one is questionable. I'm going to put it on the side of this block because this block is really big for this tiny little stamp. I don't know what happened to that one, but we'll stamp another one right over here. And then we'll hit it with the gold embossing powder. That's better. Tap it off. And now, bring out your heat tool. Here we go. And apply even heat until it melts. You'll see it melt and turn a really pretty gold metallic when it gets hot. There we go. You see that just changed? I don't know if you could see it changing in the video. It's really pretty. Careful you don't burn your fingers. I get a little bit too close sometimes. All the way down. Get this over here. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, I think I've got it all. I like to give it a little hit from the back too, just to make sure that it's all really melted. All right, looks good. We'll turn it off. And now we can die cut this with the big shot. So I've got my big shot here. My plates have seen better days. I should probably start using the new ones, but that'll do for now. And normally I like to put the die on the bottom because this is a magnetic base, but because I need to see the image, I really need to put it on the top. So I'm just gonna line it up, and the magnetic base will hold it in place. Then I'm gonna put the little heart over here. Okay, put the top plate on and send it through. All those crazy noises are normal. I'm gonna come back through one more time, just for good measure. And then you can go ahead and grab this piece, and you see it's cut out perfectly. So here's my heart, and here's my ribbon. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is take these pieces here that we cut earlier, the black and the white, the little strips, those are the ones that are 3/4 of an inch, and get your snail adhesive out and run some adhesive on the back of the white one. And then I'm going to stick it to the black one like so. Get that ready to go. And then this is the one where I want to put courage on this, so I'm going to stick my courage on this way oversized block. And this one here I want to stamp in black. So I'm going to get my Memento Tuxedo Black out and tap it onto my stamp here. And I'm going to put it right about here. Perfect. And then hit it with my Simply Chamois so it cleans up the mess. We're good to go with that one too. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is take the white piece that we cut earlier, which is the 4 3/4 by 3.5, and we're going to put it right about here, just to give you an idea. So let's put some snail adhesive on the back. I'm going to go right about there. Now I'm going to flip this over, because I don't want those pieces to extend past, and I don't want to cut them a certain size and then they're not exactly the right size, because that bothers me. So I find it easier to trim them from the back like that, and that way they're perfect. Now this piece gets mounted to this one, so I'm gonna flip it over, put some adhesive, and stick this just like so. And then this one goes onto our card base. So let's stick that on there next, and then we'll do the pretty stuff. So put your adhesive, like that. All right, that looks good. Okay, now we're gonna take this here and flip it over, and flip over our little heart too. And I'm gonna take some mini Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm gonna put one in the middle of the heart. And I'm planning on mailing these, so I'm gonna use quite a few of these mini dimensionals. I don't want everything to get squished when it gets run through the postage meter. I want it to be pretty when it gets to its final destination, especially considering that this stamp is probably going to go to a family that has someone touched by childhood cancer. Sometimes these are a little tough to get in. If you just press them with your nail, it lifts up the edge a little bit better, and then it's easier to get them off. Okay, and let me take this one off too, so we're ready to go. All right, this little one here, I'm gonna stick down here somewhere like that. And the big one, the big ribbon, Just gonna go kind of in the middle, right around there. I want the tails to just touch into this. And then I think it needs just a little bit of bling. So I'm gonna take out my multi-pack of the sequins and pull out, here's a couple. These are the metallic sequins. And my mini glue dots here. And I'm going to peel it back till you see it. And it's kind of hard to see on this, but it's there. And I'm going to stick the sequin right to that. I'm going to put one of these over here. Oops. I missed. It's hard to see with the camera here. And then let's pick up another glue dot. And we'll put that one here. And one more. I'm going to stick this one here. And that is it. That is a finished card. It's simple, it's gold, and it's beautiful. All right, let's see. Let's do one more card since we're here. This one is going to use the same size cutting dimensions. So we're going to use the basic black, and I'm going to cut it in half again. So bring my cutting blade down and cut at 4 1/4. Actually, we want to do it the other way. I do this all the time. I don't know why. 5 1/2. And then we're going to turn it, bring both of these down here, and score it at 4 1/4. Move it to the side, away from the valley, fold to the hill, and nice crisp edge. And then we're going to cut these other pieces, which are going to be actually the same size as the pieces that we cut last time. I'm going to cut the smaller one first, just because I have this black out here already. So this is going to be, I'm going to cut it 3 1/2. And I'm going to keep this piece because we're going to need it for later. Okay, now this is where the pretty comes in. We're going to use the gold foil sheet. I love, love, love the gold foil. It's really pretty. I'm going to cut this piece let's make this 3 3/4. And then I'm going to cut 5 inches right here. And I'm going to put this aside. Okay, so we've got our layers here. That looks good, ready to go. Now we need a piece of black cardstock. And I'm going to do the very same stamps we did on the last one we're going to use again. So let's make sure that this is going to fit on here. Beautiful. I'm going to use my Versamark ink again. Stamp it up because we are going to heat emboss one more time. Ink, ink, ink. Make sure I get good coverage. And press it down firmly. Nice even pressure. And we're good. I think that looks pretty good. Get my gold embossing powder one more time. I have got to add this to my list. I'm almost out. Oh, it looks like we got a double image. I don't know how I did that. That's no good. I'm going to restamp that. Sometimes it happens. Let's try that again. I want it to be perfect, so I'll do it as many times as necessary. Oh, that looks good to me. It's hard to see, but I think it's okay. Cover it with the gold embossing powder. Got a little piece of that heart that is not covered, so I'm going to go over it one more time. Tap it off. That looks good to me. All right, let me put the lid on this so I don't make a big mess. And grab that heat tool one more time. And watch this. It's so pretty on the black, guys. So pretty. There we go. See how that just comes to life? Look at that. Look how pretty that is on the black. Oh, it's gorgeous. Looks like we got it all. Look at that. I'm going to hit it from the back just to make sure that everything is melted the way we want it to be. Okay. Can you see just how beautiful that is? It's so shiny. I just love it. All right, I'm going to get the big shot again. And we're going to do the same thing we did last time. Just line it up. And then, oh, this one is jumping a little bit. There we go. Sometimes if you just move it a little bit, it stops doing that. Okay, put the top plate on and run it through. And I'm gonna come on back the other way. And I'm not gonna put this too far because we are gonna use it one more time. So there's my little gold heart. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna put these aside. And I'm going to use a die from the Sunshine Wishes dies. I'm going to use this one. It says Hope. And then I'm going to use the little ribbon, which I took out already, and I don't see it anymore. Uh-oh, I have misplaced. Oh, here he is. He's hiding over here. And this little ribbon, the little gold ribbon, well, it will be gold because we're going to cut it out. So I'm going to stick these right here on the magnetic base on my plate. And I'm going to actually cut this piece of foil down a bit. The gold foil paper, it tends to work better with a piece that's not as big, especially since it's got all these little holes in there. Some of those holes are going to show up. I don't mind them on the ribbon. I don't like it on the letters. I'm going to show you how to fix that because we can't cut backwards. We have to put the foil down or else the words will not read the right direction. So I'm going to run this through. And I'm going to come on back one more time. All right, now let me show you what I'm talking about. See the little dots on there kind of came through. It makes a pretty pattern, almost looks riveted on the ribbon, so I don't mind that. But on this die here, I'm gonna have to get my paper piercing tool. Just a second. Let me pop this out of here. There we go. Okay. So you see it's got some like dots and bumps and stuff on it from the die. That bothers me. I don't like it. I don't think it's pretty. I don't want it on my card that way. So what I do is I have a clean set of plates, a new pair that I haven't really used. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bottom clear plate down, the newer one. I'm going to put one piece of just regular copy paper. Then I'm going to take another piece of copy paper and I'm going to stick that die cut piece right inside, and I'm going to flip it upside down, put it there, put the other clean plate right on top, and I'm going to run it through both directions. Just like that. Look at that. It flattens out all those marks. Beautiful, ready to go. So that is a good tip if you end up with something that's die cut and you're not happy with the way it looks. Try to run it through another time with a really clean set of plates if you have them. I keep a pair that are good because these are messy all the time for me. Okay, I'm gonna put this back to the side. I don't believe we'll be needing it anymore. And now we're going to do the fun part. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the smaller piece of black that we cut, and I'm going to put my snail adhesive on it. And I will link on my blog post to all the products. Because this is live, I will probably do the blog post later on tonight. I'll go ahead and get that up for you guys in case you want to purchase any of these products. And then I'm going to stick this on here. So put a little more snail adhesive. The other thing you'll find on my blog is in the menu bar, I've created a page. The blog is new. There's not a lot of content right now. This will actually be my first post. But I did create a page called Sharing Hope, and it talks more about our story with childhood cancer and my son Alex. And once I get some pictures up and I get a chance to create the listings in my Etsy shop, you will see the listings for these two cards, and then eventually I'm going to have a whole nother set of them. Hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll get that going. Okay, so pretty already, isn't it? And now I'm going to take my gold ribbon and this piece here, and once again we are going to put the dimensionals on this. Get these ready. I'm not going to take the backings off yet because I might be moving them around just a little bit. So I really just want to get them ready to go. There, these are the mini dimensionals. I think they work better for this. I don't want the white sticking out, especially on the black like this. Okay, so this is going to go down here after. So let's leave that for now. Now where is my gold hope? Here's my gold hope, and here's that little gold ribbon that I cut out before. Now I'm going to take my Tombow Mono multi-glue, and I'm going to put a very small amount, very thin, because I don't want it seeping out. Use the pen tip side for this. This is a double-sided glue. It's got a fatter one that almost looks like a highlighter on the other side. You want the little skinny one, because we don't want to get this all over the place. And I'm going to put some more in here, like this. I'm going to put this one aside for now because we're actually missing a piece of white cardstock that we forgot to cut. So we'll have to go do that in a minute. But before we do that, I'm going to pick this up, and I want it to go right about here. So we're going to stick that down there. Now we could take the backs off of this here. I did not skimp on these. Let me stand back up. I'm going to put that right about here. And then my little heart, I'll put it there. So that is what the finished card looks like from the front. Isn't that beautiful? It is so pretty. I love the gold. I'm glad that children get gold ribbons. I feel like they deserve that shiny metallic. Okay, so we need to cut one more piece of white cardstock real quick. So go grab your Whisper White one last time. And we are going to make this 5 inches like this, and 3 3/4 like this. And go ahead and put your, put your snail adhesive. And I'm going to open up my card, and I'm going to place this just like so. I like to leave these blank inside because I don't know who's going to be using them. These would be great not only to send to people who are affected by childhood cancer, they would make great gifts to give to people who have childhood cancer, and they could use them as thank you cards because they need a lot of them, trust me. So here we go. This is our second card right here. Here's the first one we made earlier. So we've got courage and hope. Leave me a comment. Let me know which one's your favorite. I would love to hear from you. And please like, subscribe, share, come visit my blog, see what else there is. And thank you for joining me. See you next time.